My name is Simon Squibb. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've started 18 companies, 13 of them with no money, and I've invested in 68 startups. I started my own first business at 15 years old and was able to retire at 40. I'm going to share with you today the knowledge of how to get sales. Now, there are 3 steps to ensure any sale happens, and so many people get this the wrong way around. They go for the 3rd step first when they should go for the 1st step first. In my mythology, these are the 3 steps to get any sale to happen. The first and most important step is whoever you're selling to, get to know them personally, not just their company and their company goals, which are very important, but understand the person you're actually selling to. What are their hobbies? What do they like? This isn't stalkerish. This is just simple due diligence. If you understand the person you're selling to, you can make a relationship with them, you can understand them, and equally, you should do the same. I've recently been talking to some big brands, and my 3-year-old son's been jumping in the Zoom pictures, and you know what? It helped me build a bond with the people I'm talking to. I believe there's no such thing as work-life balance. You should include your life in it, and actually the best relationships, and I've sold to every Fortune 500 company something at least once in my career. So when I say to you, build a relationship, I'm talking from experience. Involve everything, your own personal life, and try to get to know them. So many people forget to do this. They almost feel like they shouldn't, but you absolutely need to get to know the person you're selling to, not just the company you're selling to. Get to know them, get them to like you. Second step, and I think this is also really important, more important than the first step. The second step is you've got to make sure you build a rapport and a context around the concept of you need each other. If you can prove you need each other, then the 3rd step becomes easier. But if you need each other, then you'll work much harder. And if you like each other, it will be a pleasure to do so. Creating need is an art form in itself. So many people in sales just throw out what they've got to sell.
Our prices have never been lower!
They don't spend enough time understanding whether or not the company they're talking to actually needs what they're selling. Now, quite often it's just about framing. It's about reframing what you are selling to match up with what that client, that person is trying to achieve in their businesses. So ask more questions and tell them less. And that is a positive point, not a negative point. I'm not saying don't tell them things about your business. I'm saying listen carefully for as long as you can about what they're trying to achieve. What they're trying to achieve in their business will ultimately give you the keys to unlock the sale from your business. I have met hundreds of thousands of people in my time who say they're in sales, and they always forget to carefully consider what the other side of the table really needs, and then reframe what they've got to suit the needs of the person they're selling to. And the 3rd piece I'm going to break into 2 parts. One element of it is, of course, price, structure, contract. But there is another element to it that I think, again, is just not talked about enough, and that is understanding whether or not you can see a long-term relationship within the structure that you build. So it's very important to, of course, have the right pricing structure, the right compensation for both sides, have clear goals as to what you achieve if you team up. But more important than that, I think there is an emotional element that is underappreciated around what is the purpose of your business and what is the purpose of the business you're working for, and make sure you're aligned. Almost link it to your moral code and the ethics of what you're trying to achieve, because if you can align those 2 things within a contract, personally I believe in a handshake, not a contract, but you need both. Ultimately, if you can check in and make sure you actually really like each other and that you actually really need each other, the 3rd bit, this structure and this alignment in moral code and long-term a need for each other, will make a huge difference and guarantee you a sale. Now, I'm going to do a whole series on sales. I'm going to go into the nuance, kind of the 18 steps to getting sales. I'm going to talk about persistence in sales and how that really works. It's so important to understand the framework of sales and why sales, to me, in my view, is a beautiful thing. I have built businesses and relationships and even a marriage on the back of sales. Sales has actually become almost a dirty word. No one wants to get into sales these days, and you're wrong. You need it. And I'm sure you're watching this video because maybe you've either started a business and realized you need sales support, or you realize that you can't start a business unless you've got a sales framework, or perhaps you're looking to hire a salesperson and want to understand how good salespeople operate. So I will create a whole playlist around this subject. If you're interested in knowing more about sales, sales, hit the subscribe button. If you found what I had to say today useful, do me a favor and hit the like button. And finally, if you have any questions about starting a business, growing a business, or sales itself, feel free to comment. I always reply to comments, and I look forward to sharing the next insight with you on sales in the next few weeks. Thank you for listening.